Welcome back once again to the Smite Console League Qualifiers. Myself and Allied will be joining you for the action of Day Carry versus Samurai.
Now,
what do we know about these teams?
Well, we do know that Day Carry is old Elevate of last season, which was considered one of the top 3 teams. They made it to Worlds through the open bracket. They didn't qualify through normal means, and they got knocked out early by me and Envy. But they're a great team. I love everyone on the squad. They have Chapu, Aggro, and the boys, and they are sexy. As far as Samurai, I've never heard of Samurai, but we'll see what they can bring to the table against a tenured team like old Elevate.
Let's see what they can do. Day Carry versus Samurai. Picks and bans will be on your screen right about now. Day Carry will be first pick. So what do you want to actually see during the picks and bans here?
In my opinion, I think that Day Carry have probably one of the best mid-jungle synergy I've ever seen on Xbox. I think they're probably like a top 3 team in terms of mid-jungle. Aggro and Chapu seem to be always on the same page.
When we talk about console here, what do we want to see in the jungle, first of all? Do we want to see Thor? Because Thor's prominent.
Anything that Chapu can carry on. He is
just anything?
Probably one of the best jungle carries in Xbox. So want to see some Thor, want to see some Kali, I want to see some Mercury, except Mercury's not viable. Anything that he can kind of pop off with. Because Chapu's just, that's his personality. He wants to get in your jungle, wants to invade, he wants to just swag out, and I like it.
Well, for standing first ban coming out from Day Carry there with the Giannis and Isis in response by Samurai there.
I love
Not
that.
surprising to see those 2 banned away.
I love that. Isis is going to be probably auto-banned for most of Season 3, but just that early game control that she brings, especially recognizing maybe that, hey, well, Aggro's Isis is really good.
Odin also taken away by Day Carry. They're well aware of the shenanigans Odin can bring to the table these days. He showed off, Dwyer showed him off just recently how good Odin can be.
Yeah, I mean, after last game, I have a whole new respect for Odin. The rotations were on point. Dwyer was everywhere at once, caging in dust. And really, he had so much pressure all of last game that he was able to help Eager get a crazy lead despite falling a little bit behind early.
It won't be in this game. And now Samurai, it's their final ban. Khepri still available as well, but it's going to be a Guan Yu ban. So where do you expect to see Day Carry go with this one now?
Khepri is available.
Do you reckon Khepri's just Khepri?
Yeah, I think just go for that dual lane win.
Clear.
Unless there's anything they see like that they want for mid-jungle, maybe an early Kali pick. It depends on what Chapu's feeling. They might even first pick Thor. They're like, really, in terms of how simple, like it's very easy to know what Elevate wants to go for. They want to go for that mid-jungle pressure. And Chronos is going to actually be first picked here, which I also dig that.
And we see Chronos a lot at the moment on the console scene. A lot of people are first picking him as well. Chronos seems to be a very big staple go-to. What's the reasons for that?
With the natural slow-paced gameplay of Xbox, just generally with the controller, people make mistakes. You get to late game faster. Well, not faster, but you get to late game more commonly compared to PC. So Chronos, who's the late game king, can get his farm that he needs.
Well, Sol is going to be an early game king, that's for sure, in terms of wave clear. Late game still has great damage potential.
It depends on if that's mid or dual lane Sol.
And what would you like to see that? Would you like to see
dual lane? Yeah.
Up against the Chronos more than likely?
Oh, yeah. I think Sol will definitely be able to outpush and poke out and be able to scale into the mid to late game. Mid lane, Sol doesn't have the same options. You can't build your passive as easily. You have a harder time keeping it up. Geb with Sol, I think, is still fine because Sol is one of those characters that can just kind of full clear the wave.
You don't need Geb to help. Really.
Yeah, you don't need Geb. In fact, you barely need a support depending on how you want to start.
And that's the best thing about them locking in Geb there for themselves. Is Geb not the greatest at wave clear? However, his influence in the mid to late game, you can clearly tell it. Every single time those shields are on point. And there's the Thor locked in for Day Carry.
Chapu
going to be taking that one, looking to carry with it.
Yeah, he probably one of the sexier Thors on Xbox, and Khepri making it to third. But I'm very surprised about this because like now we have 2 sort of revives. Chronos rewind when he gets low, and then in case Chronos gets low again, Khepri ult for the revive once more. Samurai, though, have a final pick before the counterban phase kicks off. We'll see where they look to. Will they look towards a jungler here, or would you want to see if go for a mid lane pick potentially? It depends. They could reveal that that's probably dual lane Sol, or they can either go for a Sol lane. I would like to see him go for a dominant Sol. Like Bellona is still available with Guan Yu banned. You could easily go Bellona here, even like Vamana if you're feeling that like pulp stomp, like push the wave, be annoying. It's all up to Samurai and what they decide to go for here.
Samurai taking all their time they can to really think about this one. They will lock in that solo lane, as you said. Dominant solo lane too, to be fair. Vamana, there's not too many that really go against him well.
Especially on Xbox, it's a lot harder to punish things like Vamana. Vamana, while he does have his flaws on PC, which would be getting easily aggressed on early, and you kind of want to scale up a little bit, get your poke leveled up as Vamana, but he gets away with all of that on the Xbox just because of the nature of things. You're going to naturally miss abilities.
Well, Poseidon banned away by Samurai. They're not a god that we see in the mid lane that often, but on Xbox with that big Kraken can really influence the fight. Ao Kwang banned away as well by Err Day Carry. They don't want to have to deal with that one. Back to Samurai again for their next ban. Will they look at the mid lane again, do you expect? No.
Yeah, Bologna ban, I think that's fair. Don't want to get poked out, and
You said early on Vamana can get poked a little bit in
well,
the lane.
yeah, Bologna definitely has, in my opinion, the better matchup, especially with Death's Toll having the sustain, can clear the boars and snowball out of control against the Vamana. And yeah, you don't want to deal with that as Hui gets banned away here for Err Day Carry.
So that Hui ban there by Err Day Carry, they don't necessarily think Samurai running Sol in the duo lane there with that ban. They more than likely think he's going to be
It could also be Hui mid too. You got to respect that. With Sol in the duo lane, Hunter mid is
How is Hui mid though?
Oh, it's amazing.
What's the reason he's so good?
You can triple bounce the wave, you can triple bounce the opponent, because the walls in the mid lane are so close together. Compared to dual lane, they actually removed that going from Season 2 to Season 3. They removed triple bounce locations in the dual lane, so people are like, you know what, hi-rez, well guess what, we're going to triple bounce in the mid lane.
Well, they're going to lock in Chiron here as Samurai, so clearly Sol is either going to be mid or in the Hunter role. Chiron could be mid.
I mean, it could be. It's a
Unlikely,
stretch, though. Yeah, it's probably going to be a dual lane.
I will say, though, that Samurai definitely going to have a little bit of a weaker wave clear up against Chronos and Khepri more than likely in that dual lane. With Chronos and Khepri, that wave clear is going to be monumentally better early on.
I love this, going straight for the frags. Aggro's going his Agni, and he's actually, considering that we were scrimming last year, he's probably one of the only Agni players. I tried it. Agni on Xbox is no joke. I'm warning anybody that plays it. It's so hard.
Why is it so difficult?
It's because the Y-axis with the controller is like impossible for certain characters, which lowers their overall viability in competitive play.
And Agni's bombs are all about that.
They're all about the Y-axis, even your stun circle. You want to make sure that you quickly get the Y-axis. You want to aim it correctly and get the perfect positioning for it. And it's like, it's impossible, but for Aggro, he makes it work.
That's the best thing about console, though. It brings a different sort of level where gods like Agni on the PC would be viewed as pretty simplistic to play, but on the Xbox or on the console in general, he's a much more difficult god. So strong plays from the Agni in the mid lane. Will we see it is the question. Let's go through the teams. As Err Day Carry will be on the left-hand side, Samurai on the right-hand side. And we're going to see here Dr. Lil Cabes playing Vamana in the solo lane. Bxldyy, did it die? Let's go with that, that'll do. On Batz. Mythic will be playing Sol in the mid lane. Holes, Rippin Holes, I guess, in the Guardian role. And then finally Cameron on the Chiron. We're going to go with Cameron there, it's fine. Meanwhile, on the side of Err Day Carry, you can see there's a lot of Elevate names there. They used to be known as Elevate. Uzzy will be playing Ravana over in the solo lane. Elchapo in the jungle, playing Thor. Aggro in the mid lane on the Agni. And gustavY and Zachsy will combine in the duo lane for Err Day Carry, played by gustavY and Zachsy, Khepri, and Chronos.
That's actually, so with the new Elevate squad, we have gustavY on support. He was on Cognitive Gaming last year. He made it to World's Finals, where he's known for, he did lose.
Who did he lose to?
Your boy right here.
Retired people.
Retired people, yes. But I will say that he has an amazing support god pool, and he's best known for his Kumbhakarna.
Oh, well, he's got Khepri this game, and Khepri very good for the peel is the big key here. And I do like the fact that they've picked up two frontline gods with Ravana and Thor there, who can dive in the backline and allow gustavY to just sit as Khepri on the back.
I forgot to bring this up during picks and bans. I love the Ravana pick by Uzzy. Uzzy being such a hyper-aggressive soul laner. And knowing that especially he can get the upper hand on Vamana. However, the biggest flaw of Ravana is the fact that he does fall off past the 15-minute mark, not having too much mid to late game utility or damage, as it do fall off. But in terms of early game laning phase, Ravana's all about it.
Well, we did see an interesting start from Samurai there. They did their blue first, then their backs, which meant Vamana got to lane a little bit later than he should have. But he's still going to get there ahead of Ravana as the wave cleared a little bit better for them early on. Both the junglers have now met in the mid lane there. And push power in Sol and Humbatz's favor for the time being on the side of Samurai. Already, though, Vamana poked down.
Yeah, and that's really Ravana. He's just a giant bully, especially in the laning phase. And really, I don't think he expected it. He banned the Bologna. And remember, this is 3.3 on the Xbox, so Ravana has been nerfed. But
Still viable.
he's still viable. He still has that great early game pressure, and it's very hard to deal with for some warriors.
Both of them level 3 right now. You can see Uzzy trying to push these couple of minions into the tower, but they would be quickly deleted, and in the end, it's Uzzy that loses the trade a little bit there, but the backwards and forwards early game is definitely in Uzzy's favor. However, great work from the Vamana on the poke.
Little Cabes putting on the pressure, love it, and showing that he isn't afraid of this matchup. He's getting the better end of really overall this matchup, and I love it. He's still not afraid to go toe-to-toe with Ravana. Most people would be.
We're checking with the dual lane for the first time today. Err Day Carry definitely winning that war, as you'd expect, with the Khepri and Chronos up against Chiron and Geb early on. But we'll see what impact they can make later on. Keep an eye on the Thor in the jungle. Elchapo been mentioned here by Allied already. I'll hold that fort right on side.
Uzzy might die here. This is actually insane. Low cabs not going to be able to chase it down. Doesn't have the abilities available to finish him off.
I like his patience of just going back to farming the wave instead of like trying to continue a chase into the jungle. Just keep the wave clear on, trying to abuse a small advantage he's got. He wasn't going to find the kill, so instead goes and farms his boars on the right-hand side as Uzzy tries to clear the wave, but takes quite a bit of poke for doing so.
Yeah, and that's great patience, great discipline overall. Lil Cabe's just going to go solo his boars, get more of a lead, and yeah, hopefully he can pursue going into a healthy mid to late game as Vamana.
Mid lane, there's Aggro. Level 4 still at the moment. We'll be hitting level 5 more than likely off this next wave as the dual lane of, the middle lane of Samurai there, Sol and Batz combining to pick it up. Level 5s have been reached now by Err Day carrying the mid and jungle role, so keep an eye on Elchapo looking for rotations.
We get to see if Aggro and Chapu might go for a kill attempt. These are...
Where would you look for the kill attempt?
Chapu's all about the mid lane control, so he's going to probably look for Sol or Batz, look to poke them out, especially with mid Harpies spawning soon. There's the Thor. Like I mentioned, especially once he hits 5, he's going to look for any kind of early game aggression. Uzzy's
going to die here, I think. No, force the ultimate. Big baby pop, though. Was there a need for that coming out?
I don't think he realized that he would ult away, maybe. Low Cabs is putting the pressure on, though. Got a little bit too excited.
Not too excited. Bombs do go the way of Err Day Carry there, thanks to the help of Aggro's bombs coming out. So they do pick up those right-hand Harpies. Left one's already been started here by gustavY on this left-hand side too. So Err Day Carry starting to get the golden experience lead in this matchup all across the map.
Yeah, it looks like Err Day Carry looking for that mid lane control, and that's really when you talk about ult elevate, you talk about mid Harpy control. That's what they are all about.
Well, they might be in control of mid Harpies, but they're not in control of their own blue buff here. That's going to get stolen away by Samurai. But Uzzy recognizes this round the side, going to try and poke out the Sol, forced her to disapparate, but they're not going to be able to close the gap in time. Samurai, good invasion from them there. They don't find the blue, however. They pick up the blue, but they don't actually pick up the blue.
Yeah, I will say Chapu is looking for the pick onto the mid laner. Great Berserker Barrage, not quite enough damage. No follow-up. And looks like he might actually be able to go ahead. There it is, the immunity frames.
And there's Batz being forced away by Uzzy here. Return about is a fair play from Err Day Carry here. They're going to steal the blue buff here. You can see Geb in the wings trying to secure this one, not going to have an attempt to. So the blue buffs get traded between the two, and the golden experience lead then stays in Err Day Carry's favor.
I love the counter invade. They're like, oh, you take our blue buff, we're going to take yours. And yeah, I love the overall aggression coming out of Chapu.
Bombs connect onto Batz. 2 pop there, and he actually pops a very late purification, does Batz in the mid lane. That's going to be on cooldown now, and Err Day Carry will recognize that as they head over to the red buff.
Great jungle pressure, realize that we have them poked out, we have them in the defensive. They still haven't got their red buff? Okay, well that's ours now.
And this is just patient play from Err Day Carry here more than anything. Just take experience control during the jungle.
I mean, this isn't anything special. They are just walking around. And this is generally, especially if you're a newer player, if you notice what they're doing, the 3-man pushing middle, which leaves opportunities because Samurai have to clear that mid wave as a team. It leaves opportunities for Err Day Carry to, hey, red buff's open because there's an open avenue right there. Let's go take it. Hey, boars are available. Let's take it. And lots of jungle invasion opportunities come about when you push the mid lane as 2 to 3 people.
And now the experience lead wasn't that big, but now they're going to go take their own jungle. You'll see it start to climb even more on the side of Err Day Carry here. As we tune in with Uzzy once again, trading out with Vamana. Losing the trade once more, to be fair, but they're both relatively low now.
Yeah, Uzzy's getting a little bit manhandled here, especially considering that this is like Ravana. He needs like this early game pressure. He's getting kind of pressured, and it's going to hurt even more as Vamana gets more of his item build online.
Is this the bluestone that's really helped Vamana in this lane? Just the extra poke that's been coming out from that?
Well, Uzzy, I mean, he has the sustain from Death's Toll. I'm not too sure he should be full clearing the wave and then looking to punch Vamana, but also this is 3.3. Maybe the Ravana nerfs are a little bit too much to deal with. They did nerf the cooldown by a little bit. And maybe once he gets some CDR online, it might be better. But for right now, he's getting manhandled.
Not too scared to go aggressive there. I thought he was going to be a little bit out of position, but with Aggro in the backside following him, they do have the opportunity to look for these right harpies, which just spawn now. gustavY still feeling himself, going to go and curse. Looking for the pick onto Geb. Rollout actually did not get hit by the abduct. There's a cataclysm, and now the damage from Sol is going to put some pressure onto gustavY. Not enough to find the kill. He thought he was safe, but guess what? Chiron was there to claim first blood.
That was insane. And did you notice that gustavY got hit with every tick of Sol's ult? That's like 9 hits. If you get hit by all of it, it's like 1,000 damage.
But I like his presence of Match. He still wasn't going to die, but just didn't realize on his back was Chiron.
Yeah, Chiron was slapping him hard
double
there.
tap from Thor, jumps into 3 Elchapo, trying to do what he can, but now he's in a world of hurts. The Fear No Evil's forces his purification, trying to juke out these abilities. He's slowly being whittled down, though, when Aggro cannot find a kill in return in the end. And so it's 2-0. Samurai take the lead.
I think that was a little bit of poor decision-making there, as Chapu decided to teleport in with gustavY down. Really, like a huge disadvantage in numbers, and Aggro just didn't have the follow-up to blow them up.
Great poke coming out from the Vamana there. Cabes did a good rotation over there. Did use his teleport to get to that side, and they get some poke onto Aggro. It's not enough to find a kill. But they, Samurai, honestly, for a team that are relatively unknown, to be fair, at the moment on the console, they're doing very well.
For their first showing, they are doing a great job reactively kind of showing their pressure. They're doing a good job in their mid-jungle, not falling for ganks.
And that whole lead that we saw from Err Day Carry of the invasions coming out just got evened up once again by Samurai, picking up that kill onto gustavY, and because of that, finding the extra kill onto Elchapo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. Right now, if I'm Err Day Carry, I want to slow it down a little bit and, you know, be a little bit more composed when looking for these picks and these jungle ganks and this pressure.
Not as clear-cut as they thought. It might have been Err Day Carry in this round of 8 game. They're looking for the red buff again on the left-hand side, though. Chiron's still in lane, as Chronos has made the rotation over here as well. So Err Day Carry will secure the red buff yet again. Samurai will not be around to try and contest.
And I love this. If they just keep doing this over and over again, red buff on respawn, blue buff on respawn, they can easily destroy both of the dual lane, mid lane, and soul lane by just completely taking all their farm away from them.
So what's the big key here coming out from these two teams? What do you want to see in the mid-game? Who do you feel has an advantage as we head towards that stage?
In terms of control, Err Day Carry has
Cataclysm in mid lane onto Elchapo. He's in a lot of trouble there. Does get away by gustavY, back to safety though. And Uzzy's in the mid lane now, beaten down onto the Geb, but it's not enough to find the kill, unfortunately. He's not going to find it, but the bomb from Elevate will. Elchapo dives in deep, looking for the kill to secure. Doesn't find it. The snipes from Chiron come out. He will secure the kill with the masterful shot onto Elchapo.
That was great. We do have low capes coming in. There's the knockup, but he's all by himself. No follow-up, but Big Baby might be enough. There's the curse. No follow-up, though. Great bomb, actually. Aggro being able to pick up the kill on low capes.
And that was all down to the curse more than anything.
Yeah,
Stopped the heal coming out from Vamana.
Yeah, it was a delayed curse bomb that took him out. He couldn't heal up all the way. And yeah, Aggro, great presence of mind to follow up on that.
Good
Beautiful play
from both these two teams. Very even game for the round of 8 still. So tuning in with Uzzy over in that solo lane, working towards Breastplate of Valor to go to the Warrior tab he already finished. Vamana, his counterpart, Lil Gabe's, also going for the same sort of build here. We're starting to hit level 12 though, and that's when the second relics really come into account.
Yeah, that's huge. Uzzy didn't really rotate or put as much pressure in that rotation. He just kind of farmed out there, and he really needed that. Now he has 600 gold on low cabs, and he's going to use that back right now to get his second relic online and his breastplate.
The junglers as well, working towards the Jotuns as well as we tune in with Zachsy, who's losing a very, very rough trade there. Luckily, Rewind just in time, back to safety. Got a good stun off, actually, which was key there, because we could have actually seen a kill picked up by Cameron on that Chiron.
Sadly for Zachsy, we haven't touched too much on him. He seems to be new blood.
Jungle Cataclysm comes out on Elchapo, forcing purification again. Wall gets dropped by him as well. Elchapo does not find anything else, though. As the reset happens, you can see Sol did survive in that mid lane.
Barely, just barely there. She was able to kind of back up. But back to merger point, Zachsy, he's new blood on Elevate, and he's doing a decent job right now. It's just really unfortunate that Cameron has gotten 2 kills off of rotation. And that's huge, especially when you're talking about a dual lane matchup. Being able to rotate to mid lane and pick up kills and then come back to dual lane, you're up like a huge amount of golden experience.
Well, when we talk about hyper carries, generally from the Hunter role more than anything else, we talk about real hyper carries. Chiron and Chronos, are they the same sort of level, or is it a big lead for Chronos?
We actually have some bombs going down as Rippin Holes gets completely blown up. He's going to be forced to back there. And Err Day Carry could definitely use that to pressure into the blue buff. But as you were saying, yeah, I mean, Chiron isn't considered a hyper carry by any means. No true steroids on his kit. He has no sort of late game dominance compared to any other AD carry. But compared to Chronos, Chronos is way more of a hyper carry with overall his kit. It does so much.
So if that's the case, then it's not too bad that Chiron's in the lead right now, as long as it doesn't get too out of control at this stage.
I think Zachsy's doing a great job. He's stacking, looking to get some attack speed online, most likely going to be a Telkines, and just looking to get to a healthy mid to late game. And that's really all you want with Chronos. If you can get to, I'd say, 25 minutes in the game as healthy as possible without losing too much, you're in there.
Well, keep an eye on Elchapo, looking for the aggression all the time. 0-2-1 though right now. It's in a bit of a rough time. Every time he's gone in, Hombat seems to be reacting with that Fear No Evil every single time, which is good credit to BX.
11 minutes in the game, 3-3. Uzzy looking to aggress onto Boars, and I like this as he gets more and more of a lead, taking Boars right now.
It's a good call there, because Lil Cape's had a decision to make. Does he want to go for the farm under the tower or defend his Boars? And in the end, he may lose both there. The trade's still going on between the two of them.
And that's the power of Robin. You just beat people up. You just smack them around. Hey,
ward.
Get out of here.
My favorite thing is support to see is gustavY tries to win out and actually does delete the ward, but now he's going to get focused on. Will have his ultimate available, doesn't use it yet though as Elchapo jumps down, and some great bombs from Aggro will secure the kill. Cameron does fall. Now Geb in a lot of trouble as the rollout did get cancelled out. Uzzy's teleport helping out.
Yeah, Uzzy had great pressure in the Soul Lane, was able to teleport before the Vamana, and Vamana's all by himself right here. Locab's looking for the Tom Clancy sneak pickup. Well, I think they realize.
They do spot and immediately turn their attention to not going to find the stun. Yes, they will. I'm lying. Zachsy, credit for the kill. Lil Cabes falls down, and now there's only 2 members of Samurai that could look to defend if they so choose.
I like how Err Day Carry recognized that Lil Cabes was hiding behind the bush there and was like, hey, baby. Get out of there, baby. And then just completely take him out of the picture as they secure the first goal of the game. 13 minutes in the game.
Nothing more annoying than a baby hidden in the bush.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Gets caught though, 6-4. Err Day Carry now take a substantial lead, 5,500 gold, 3,500. Sorry, 3,500 gold, 5,500 experience, I should say, in their favors. They're also going to secure those left-hand harpies too.
Let's talk about a little bit Aggro. We don't see him in the front line of a lot of these fights. If you ever notice, he's bombing people from afar, always behind a wall, or like in some secret position, and he is doing massive work this game.
How are you feeling about the Doomob pickups, though, by these mid laners? Because we've seen Doomob be very, very strong. People saying it's a strong item. Did get some changes, so it's now 1,450 gold to finish off once you start off. However, it does suffer from the fact that if you start getting killed a couple of times, you lose those stacks. Is it really efficient and worth it in the Pro League to look for those sort of things?
I think so, considering that you should only be getting picked in a team fight, if anything. It also depends on the team composition that you're against, and depends on your role. So Aggro, when he picks Agni, he has setup, but really Agni isn't picked for his support value on a stun. He's picked up for his overall damage output compared to an Isis, where you have the choice of going support Isis, or you can go a full damage burst, blow someone up Isis, depending on your build composition.
I'm talking about the Agni there, then you're going to see Doomob will factor into his damage and really increase it.
Same thing with Soul. Soul has no real utility output, so you don't really see like a full CDR rush on Soul.
Elchapo looking to the left-hand side, trying to find the pick on the Chiron, who's hiding in the jungle now, but vision has been granted to him by the Chronos. Still not enough time to get the ultimate off in the right position for himself to find the stun, so Elchapo does not find anything with that ultimate.
The sneaks there were cute by the Chiron. Cameron was hiding in the bush. He was like, all right, I hope he doesn't see me here. He's like, everyone be quiet. I'm just trying to get out of here.
gustavY in the mid lane, level 12 at the moment, looks for the abduct, doesn't find it as the bomb gets dropped from Aggro as well. But it's actually Geb who's in an awkward position here. He will fall down to Zachsy, who's made the rotation, but Zachsy has to rewind now as Fear No Evil onto gustavY's the focus. gustavY in trouble, ults the wrong target. I feel he wanted to ult himself, and instead Zachsy gets it. That will give him some bonus power and movement speed to disengage the fight. But it's a 1-for-1 trade so far, support versus support, as the solo lane is now turn up.
I feel like gustavY has had the most unlucky time getting his ults off on himself. That's 3 times that he's died where he could have easily ulted himself to revive and then get out of the team fight, and he's just either been a little bit late on reaction or he has ulted the wrong target, and it's really hurting him and his team right now.
Err Day Carry gripping up in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Elchapo looking to steal away the red buff, but it looks like we're going to see Cameron say, no, not today, my friend. That red buff will be ours, and I will take it for myself.
I think that's the second red buff of the game that they have gotten. They've had pretty much every single red buff taken, and it definitely hurts their rate of experience gain and gold.
Zachsy heading back to the duo lane to join Aggro, who's swinging around this side. There's a ward down there, so Samurai well aware there's 3 men on that left-hand side, so they're going to pressure the mid lane for now. Uzzy in the jungle for Err Day Carry, just taking out his blue buff as gustavY returns to mid. We're hitting the stage of the game now where the rotations will be a lot thicker from both these two teams, as the next goal for you is very, very important.
Yeah, as towers get whittled down, we do see the soul lane tower is down for Uzzy, so he has no real commitment to go back. You can see a lot of groupings from both teams, and it's going to be a lot more impactful team fights as major objectives are getting more opened up as Fire Giant. You can very easily go for that.
Well, before the next goal for you response, let's look at the graphs and just see the difference right now, because like we said, the next goal for you should be quite important here, and there's only a 3,000 gold difference, so one goal for you could just swing this back to even potentially.
It's really the experience.
Experience is 6,000.
That's pretty huge. Like a lot of people, there's games I've been in where we've been down maybe like 500, 1,000 gold, but if you're down anywhere above 6K experience, that's so hard to come. That's a lot of raw stats that you're missing out on compared to the enemy team. That's like hundreds and hundreds of health, just base protections that people don't realize.
Cameron's in a bit of trouble here. Gonna actually have to pop his ultimate. Cataclysm from Gevy's very, very strong, but still under pressure is the Chiron under his tower. Damage is not enough. The shield was great coming out from Gev to survive. Rewind from Zachsy. He's gonna reset him back to full health again. In the jungle, we're being chased down. He's aggro right now. He's trying to get that popped so he can revive, but Elchapo turns up perfectly in the right position to help aggro escape from danger. Still chasing though is Big Baby looking for the kill. Aggro will get away with the dash, but Zachsy will not get away from the Batz. He will fall down before we can see the save coming out from gustavY. And now Lil Cabe's no ultimate available. Still looking for the pick on gustavY in the mid lane. Gonna knock him up. And with the Humbats in tow, they'll find the kill. And Samurai keeping themselves in this game.
I felt like Err Day Carry definitely stepped a little bit out of position. It was a great pressure on the Hunter on the tier 2, but they couldn't confirm it, and they overstepped their boundary. As Gold Fury is coming up, this might be a really big blunder here, as Samurai are in a good position to set themselves up for the Gold Fury.
Potentially, there's no wards down at the Gold Fury right now. Look at this, though. Uzzy fighting in the back line. There's 4 or 5 members there of Samurai, so a little bit risky. Elchapo does not have his ultimate available. Now Cataclysm on Uzzy. Knock up as well. Great wall from Elchapo. Will help out Uzzy and help him secure a kill. Now Elchapo's got his ult. Gonna dunk down. Looking for the pick on Chiron. Does not find the ultimate, however. But Aggro is back, and with that Path of Flame, secures another kill. The bombs.
Great set up there as the Thor wall is out for 2 bombs and a Berserker Barrage to the face. Chapu and Aggro, and this is the synergy I was talking about, being able to set up these kills every single time. And Aggro is doing so much damage. Look at him, top of the charge, really double stacking, Thoth and Doom Orb. He's going to be swinging as they set themselves up for the Gold Fury.
Gold Fury hasn't been started just yet, but Zachsy is over there. With the help of Uzzy as well, they should be able to pick that one up. Nobody really here to be able to defend for Samurai unless Chiron fancies trying to go for something with his ultimate through the wall. It's not the easiest thing to do. But there's the snipes coming out. He's going to get some decent damage off. Forced to reset on the Gold Fury, but now didn't get fully reset, which means it should still now go to Err Day Carry.
And that's nice. You can always just kind of drop the Gold Fury for a second. Oh, wait, they're not actually there. Let's pick it back up.
Pick it back up because the full reset doesn't happen anymore. It used to in the old days. We used to see a full reset.
Don't remind me.
Those were good days, right?
No.
No?
Actually, it was okay. It hurt your soul when you
had to
reset Gold Fury by mistake and it's back to full health. It's like, come on, what are you doing, Jerv? Like, but 10-7, Err Day Carry do confirm the next Gold Fury, and they have a pretty decent lead as we look at the graphs.
And when we see them, 8,000 experience, 5,500 gold in the lead are Err Day Carry here for the time being. And the best thing for Err Day Carry here is the actual carries on this team are the ones that aren't really dying. They've got Uzzy in the solo lane who's not died, and neither has Aggro. Good situation for him to be in. I know they've died 7 times as a whole as a team, but it's not bad when 2 of your main staples of Season 3, your mid laner and your solo laner, are doing great.
Yeah, Aggro's positioning has been absolutely flawless this game. He's always in the right position, able to get out of trouble, and his Agni play is insane. He's not doing anything flashy, and you don't really have to at this stage of the game. You just rely on your team, get crazy good setup, and he's able to blow up everybody.
And Uzzy in the solo lane, I mean, it was an interesting start. He put the bully on Vamana early, got bullied back in response in that lane, but neither of them actually died 1v1 in that scenario, which is a good credit to both of them, but making a bigger impact in the team fights is Elchapo going to go in and force the beads onto him from the Cataclysm going down from Gab as well. Once again, Holes' ultimates have been on point for the most part, but now Uzzy on the back line, looking for the pick onto Batz, surrounded by 3, still fighting 3, not scared of it. Rotation from the Chiron is now here. They're still looking towards Uzzy, as in the jungle, Holes will fall down. Isolated from his team was the support, and Elchapo's going in with a dunk.
That was great initiation as Lowcaps is forced to ult. There's the Chiron ult. Aggro picks up the Batz, and looks like it's a full gas pedal coming out from Err Day Carry as they look to pressure this tier 1 tower.
They're going to have to wait for some minions in the mid lane unless somebody wants to tank it, but this health tanky targets are a little bit squishy right now. Elchapo with a wall, going to zone him out for now. Uzzy takes aggro for the time being. Can avoid a little bit of that damage, but still has to retreat. Minions are now here. Tier 1 tower should fall, and Samurai back away.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, and really it looked like they put too much attention onto Uzzy there, and Uzzy was doing a little bit too much work. And on Err Day Carry side, everyone chased down Rippin Holes. Rippin Holes got chased down, pinned down, and destroyed as he was trying to run all the way to soul lane boars just to get out.
But that's surprising. There was 4 members surrounding Uzzy, and they didn't manage to bring Uzzy down. Like, they didn't seem to want to focus him for some reason when their Geb was being chased by the rest of the team.
Shoutouts to soul lane. What can I say? Remember, this is 3.3 soul lane.
It is.
Way more farm on the field, and especially with Uzzy doing so well, he's farming so efficiently,
Level
and he's
90.
3-0 and 6, regardless of Ravana being kind of falling off by mid to late game, he's still going to be so much of a huge impact because of his overall leveling.
And even though he falls off mid to late game in terms of damage, his poke potential and sticking to a target is very, very high. So he could just stick to Chiron all day and take him out of a fight.
I mean, really, so when we talk about roles in a team fight, Uzzy's role in a team fight is to lay his hands. He's supposed to just touch everything. He's just, you're slowed, you're slowed, you're slowed. I'm going to touch you. I'm going to slap you around. And he's not going to overcommit, kill people unless they're severely low, but he is a big nuisance. And Uzzy is doing that job wonderfully, as we did see the 4-man grouping just to take out Uzzy in the mid lane.
Look at that play coming out from Elchapo. Clears the red buff, dunks into the left-hand side, looking for the pick. Doesn't find the ult or the wall, unfortunately. So we're going to see Chiron retreat to a safer location. Good ult coming out from Geb. Batz is here with a Fear No Evil. Elchapo in a lot of trouble now. Over and Smash comes out, but the bombs from Aggro wreck more havoc than they deserve to. Aggro gets credit for another kill as Vamana turns up, looking to try and turn things around. Big Baby online, but already gustavY pops the ultimate on Elchapo to get him away from the danger. gustavY zoning them all away now. He may be a casualty himself, but with the abduct up, he'll be fine. And now Uzzy turns up to the fight.
Here comes Uzzy. There's the ult, and like I said, he's laying the hands down, slowing, being an overall nuisance as he sets Aggro up for the kill. gustavY picks up Rippin Holes from the damage over time there, and Lowcaps is in a tight position as he's a little baby running away from a grown Chronos.
Cameron falls down there as Elchapo did teleport in on the Thor jungle. A double kill gives credit to him in the end, 17-7. Deicide in the favor of Err Day Carry, and they're looking dominant now in this stage of the game.
And the biggest thing here is Aggro's damage output compared to Soul or anyone else's damage output on Samurai. Aggro is... he's a walking time bomb. Anywhere he goes is death and destruction, especially with his build. He's able to safely get away with the Thoth. He's had full Doomorb stacks for so long. 7-0-7. Aggro's looking to carry his team to the finals.
Samurai, though, they've done a good showing to get this far in the tournament right now. Is Batz getting a chase in the mid lane. Somersault wall does not connect, but the Purification was burnt. Tier 2 tower on the left is now being sieged. But I'm not sad for Samurai here. For their first showing, they look pretty good.
They're not, like, bad by any means. I think if they can cut the little bit of slop here and there in their team fights and overall grouping and engagement.
And what was the slop that you're seeing here that they need to work on?
It looks like communication.
Okay.
Like when we look at these team fights, it looks like everyone in Err Day Carry is on the same page. The calls are out. You can see what they're going for. And compare that to Samurai, where they're not getting the damage output that they need on the certain targets, and they're not getting the engagements and the initiation that they want. And really, initiation and first engagements is everything in Smite. And speaking of engagement,
they're looking for the Fire Giant here with Samurai cheeky, but instead Elchapo going to jump in, meet them all, force to Fear No Evil onto him. Elchapo's in a world of hurt, but will escape for the time being. The Fire Giant, though, is still alive, but we did see Batz fall down there. Fire Giant goes to Samurai. What a good call.
Yeah, that was
You just said the communication needs to be worked on. That was a great
Well,
one.
I think they heard me, and they're like, don't worry, fam, we got you. And they rushed the Fire Giant down. While they did lose their jungler due to the amazing kind of counter gank from Chapo, I don't think that's going to matter too much right now, Samurai, because they're down so much gold and experience. They need to defend with this Fire Giant, believe it or not, as we see Err Day Carry push for this tier 2.
Well, they're looking to try and abuse the man advantage for the time being, knowing that they got a lot of health taken off them by that Fire Giant. They're going to have to regen back in base and buy up. So the tier 2 tower falls in the mid lane, and immediately Err Day Carry swing to the jungle, potentially for the tier 2 right, but they've got to be careful of that just because of the Fire Giant team now they're against.
Yeah, despite the fact that they are still down 10k, Fire Giant and brings them close to even, maybe a little bit behind. And they are still a force to be reckoned with when it comes to itemization.
I think that was a small mistake by Samurai there. We saw Chiron and Sol both turn up to the left-hand lane. If they would have come to the right side, they could have defended this tier 2 tower instead. Looks like they're going to lose it as Elchapo forces them back with the ultimate. Not going to continue the aggression there. They're just after the tower. And
we haven't talked too much about Chepo, besides the fact that he's been so over-aggressive, but that's what's been setting the pace of this game compared to Samurai. So Samurai's play has been overall, it's been pretty good. But if you do see Chapo right next to gustavY, but Chapo, he's been the main initiator of every single fight, goes in, sets up the play, regardless of him being the meat shield, he gets in as much damage as he can, and he sets up aggro to clean up, which is why you do see him with a more support type of score. While he has gotten a couple kills since we last saw him at 2, 2, and 8, he has been an overall driving force for Err Day Carry to set themselves up in a positive team fight.
And that's been Aggro's positioning more than anything, because it doesn't look like he's ever been like too far forward. I've always felt like he was never in the fight until the bombs rained down, so he was in the right position.
Yeah, and
he just positions and waits for the fight and then initiates with his bombs.
It's patience, and this is signs of a good mid laner. Patience and waiting for the correct communication as the sprint is popped, looking for holes.
Bit of trouble again for him. Gonna get a good cataclysm off his shield already on cooldown, trying to roll away. Fantastic Fear No Evil coming out from Humbass to defend, but Elchapo is not finished yet. He's looking for more aggression, and he's actually going to look for Sol. The full combo will connect. Deletion.
Mechanics, beautiful mechanics, stunning, auto attack cancel, stun, auto attack cancel, hammer. And it just, the double hammer was able to take Sol's life away. Chapo showing why he's one of the best junglers on Xbox.
Well, Cameron going to split push to the left-hand side on the Chiron now, but Elchapo is going to be there to defend. Uzzy dealing with Lil Caves on the right-hand side, who's still trying to push there, but Phoenix in the mid lane by Err Day Carry being focused down here. They've got enough tanky targets to eventually bring this one down, and they will get credit for it because the boys of Samurai, they're looking for the side lanes instead.
And Samurai has been on the back foot ever since they've gotten Fire Giant. There's been no real grouping. If you look, Cameron's actually pushing a left lane Phoenix. There's no one to defend, but at what cost, as Err Day Carry can still grab 2 Phoenixes and Aggro picks up Humbat. These bombs are hitting so hard.
They really are. On left-hand side, Chiron should get that Phoenix, but look at that. Uzzy's on the rotation round, so we may see a bit of a duel there potentially, but take into account that is a Chiron, so he will be able to just dash away if he feels threatened too much. Uzzy did just use the ultimate, so that's pretty much it.
Wow, Cameron made a really good
fight himself? He's feeding himself there. I don't think he really.
I mean, he does have Fire Giant, but I wouldn't fight Uzzy regardless. That Ravana hurts, and he's just going to slap him around and chase him while his whole team are going to look to pick up.
They're going to find him potentially here. Going to get the wall. Double tap did connect, but he didn't jump to it. Unfortunately, Elchapo there.
Xbox.
Unfortunate.
It's the Xbox controller.
That's the same. Geb instead is going to be potentially caught out there from the root, but nope. Immediate resets. Actually forced the ult on Cameron there for a second too.
So let's talk about that play. It was a cheeky play by Cameron. They recognized that, you know, everyone's getting picked off on Samurai, and it was like, yo, fam, I'm going to push all these towers and grab the Phoenix. While they did lose 2 Phoenix and it was a better trade for Err Day Carry, it's still something. And now, depending on how they do the next couple team fights, which I'd imagine wouldn't go in their favor because of the way they have been fighting, they do have a Phoenix on Err Day Carry.
And to be fair, the Phoenix that they took is a good Phoenix to take. It's the furthest away from the Fire Giant.
Yes.
And at least the 2 Phoenixes they've got down, they'll be able to defend as well as the Fire Giant that's going to spawn again. But Err Day Carry have been winning the team fights like handedly. Let's be fair. They've been winning every fight pretty much handedly every time.
Like I mentioned, it's all on the initiation of Chapo. Chapo's been able to set up the plays. Aggro comes in with the cleanup, and everyone else follows suit. Look at Chapo, who's all by himself.
That's
beating
a lot of poke.
This Humbat's down,
no
smacking him.
Curse. He's looking for the somersault away. He's going to get it, but the dot damage was there. Elchapo still gets credit with the double tap, and you actually see the blink away from Geb. Didn't want to get initiated.
And really, no one's here to punish Chapo. Even if he's there by himself with no real follow-up, he's confident enough to take these 1v1. Samurai completely are intimidated by the fact that he's setting the pace of the game, and that's what Chapo is good at. He can set the pace, he sets the tone, and he uses that to put his team in these huge advantage team fights to set them up for the win.
And you can see Err Day Carry now. Just wait for the Fire Giant to spawn now. They've got the whole team still here, just looking to try and find another pick in the jungle. Left-hand side, Phoenix is being pushed, though, by those fire minions. So a little bit of damage on the Titan there. Nobody's going to be able to go and defend. Elchapo on zone duty as the Fire Giant is started there. Joined by Aggro, who's actually in supportive role here. 3 men looking for a pick as the 2 of Uzzy and Zachsy continue doing the Fire Giant. It's only at half as Vamana charges all the way in to find out what's going on and what health is at. He's getting focused significantly, but the Fire Giant is making an impact here. Cataclysm misses from Geb, doesn't get a much damage on Uzzy, turns his attention down. Fire Giant goes to Err Day Carry, and they do delete Lil Caves as well. The Vamana as Elchapo dunks on the backside, gets a wall onto Geb, and he's going to fall down soon as well. Whole team are chasing him down.
Rippin Holes trying to get away. There's the dash in by Aggro, and he's all by himself, not able to actually decides to back. And I respect that because Hole should dive regardless. And we want to push out left lane. The Titan is at half health, which is insane. And now this should be an easy Phoenix for Err Day Carry into, I would imagine, a win. It's really hard. Samurai haven't gotten a kill for the past 15 minutes. Think about that. It's been, they've been at 7 kills for as long as I can remember.
I think the one play that Samurai could have done there, one thing I do like about Samurai's play, actually, just watching this, is they're very good at realizing an opportunity. And they've taken the Gold Fury just then. Well, they attempted to take Gold Fury. They stole away the red buff as well with the opportunity they had.
It's what I like to call like the seesaw effect, right? Like, oh, they're all over here. Let's go over here.
First Fire Giant was a prime example of that well-noticed. Soul under pressure again. Going to use the Sanctuary to try and wait for a Disapparate to come up so she can get away from danger. Even uses the ult Supernova to defend, but still, Zachsy's there to get credit for that kill.
As Zachsy looks to finish his full build, he's swinging. Oh. Like, those staff hits, like, he can legitimately knock down low caves in about 4 auto attacks, depending on which stance of his passive he decides to go into.
Phoenix respawns, abduct onto the Vamana, but a good shield from Geb will soak that up and stop the CC from being applied. gustavY tanking up the Phoenix yet, waiting for some support. Zachsy's now there to bring down that Phoenix in the mid lane. Right one is about to be pressured by Fire Minion Wave 2, but instead it looks like Err Day Carry going to turn their attention to the left-hand side. Vamana on zone duty as well, but he doesn't really going to be able to stop them from bursting down that 3rd Phoenix.
Yeah, there's nothing Samurai can do as low caves. Forced to ult, great Humbat's ult, no real follow-up except Zachsy's. The revive is out. There's the Sanctuary. He is able to get the rewind back to full HP, and Samurai can't confirm a kill. Like I mentioned, the rewind revive combo from Khepri a little bit too strong as the engagement goes on.
It's still going on, but I think this is too little too late for Samurai to try and defend now. Err Day Carry have knocked down all 3 Phoenixes. They're just waiting for Fire Minions more than anything else to be able to look to end this game out. They're slowly whittling down their opposition. 4v5 still is the scoreline at the moment in terms of people alive as Humbat's forced to purification away back to safety. gustavY getting relatively low though, and we may see Err Day Carry have to reset, at least for now, just to go on by and make sure they don't get picked. But that Humbat's jump in was good. Can he find the kill? He was looking for Zachsy, doesn't find it. Instead, he gets bursted by Aggro once again.
Samurai looking to pursue some kills. gustavY falls. They're looking for Cameron, and actually Zachsy falls as well. There's 2 down for Elevate. I mean, Err Day Carry.
Yep. But he's still too little too late. Err Day Carry will pick up the kills. They retreated, and you saw Samurai push them out, but instead they overcommitted and ended up paying with their lives against the Fire Giant team of Err Day Carry, who will now move on to the semi-finals.
It was a good display. I enjoyed Samurai. I felt like they have a lot of potential. Hopefully they can come back and try again next week as they, they
look good. They do look good, though, to be fair. They don't look that weak. Let's look at the brackets on your screen. You can see Cognitive versus Eager is what's going on in the semi-finals on the upper side. And we'll be actually tuning into that one. Cog versus Eager should be a very interesting match.
Excited.
Err Day Carry, however, will take on Most Wanted Esports in the lower half. So we'll see who moves on to the final. You said Err Day Carry you expected versus Eager in the final, correct?
Considering that, okay, so Err Day Carry were our scrim partners last year when we were competing for Xbox Worlds, and they felt the most together. They felt like they had the most potential of being the #1 seeded team this year.
Well, we'll find out after this short break what's going to happen in the upper bracket between Cognitive versus Eager. Obviously, the other semi-final will go on at the same time. We'll be back with that after this very short break.